A neuron membrane is polarized when there are more positive ions on the inside than on the outside. The two important ions are sodium and potassium. When the ions are polarized, the sodium ions are concentrated on the outside the membrane, and the potassium are polarized inside the membrane. This balance is kept by the sodium-potassium pump constantly pumping out 3 sodium ions and pumping into potassium. When the membrane is at resting state, its charge is negative 70 millivolts. When a stimulus is received by the cell, the sodium channels open up and sodium flows into the cell, making the cell depolarized, meaning the cell is more positive on the inside than on the outside of the cell. After an impulse is transmitted, the neuron must go back to its resting state. This process of going back to its original state is repolarization. This time the potassium channels open up, allowing potassium to diffuse out of the cell, returning the neuron to its balance where the neuron is more positive on the outside than inside. The charges are now correct. However, the ions are misplaced and need to be switched. This happens through the sodium-potassium pump, which once again pumps 3 sodium ions out and 2 potassium ions in, until the normal placement of the ions is restored. Propagation occurs once the stimulus hits negative 55 millivolts. It allows threshold to be reached and an action potential to be triggered. At this point, the voltage is positive. Once an action potential is initiated, it will follow the whole way to action terminal. The entire process can be shown by the pathway of this car: resting potential, threshold, depolarization, action potential, repolarization, return to rest, resting potential.